think what we're gonna do is let's start this bad boy. Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick recap because he just sent me a message and apologize for taking so long. He's trying to get it all set up. So last time, you guys, actually let me get off Facebook first because that's gonna keep messaging. You guys had quite a journey as you were summoned by Pelunk to go and craft your Sword of Fenris, going about your destiny to become the Wolf God. You guys traveled all the way to Quarrel to go upon Janelle's giant horse city. Visit there. You guys were accompanied by Jardoon, the master dwarf craftsman, who was sent to the forge to work on your sword, with which the shards you were given by Pelunk. He began quickly crafting that. As you guys chatted with Janelle, talked about war, and you get to visit the town, you get to see Grundar again. It was a little bit of reminiscing. Get to see Bravor there, doing his thing in the city of Quarrel, prepping for the war. The War of the Gods to commence. They're all getting prepped. Grandar is just blowing up stuff and amazed at the rebuilding of everything around him. It was after the completion of the sword, where Plunk took you to an unknown location in the middle of the woods, where he was accompanied by many of his servants, where they began singing for you guys, as he had told you that a battle was about to take place. And the battle was with your former wolf self, with whom you were separated with, and so now we're going to start up as soon as I forgot one last thing. Alright, actually let's go ahead because the battle's going to start up, so you can go ahead and roll initiative while I'm looking up this real quick.
Alright. Uh, 18.
Okay, let me get my dice. And actually wrote down Thalian werewolf form, so what I have to do is alright. So you are going first. Alright, so the battle is going to begin. And this is where we are. Let me get my other little thing here. So you're from your location around you, you can see that you're in a dark forest. Like I said before, all of the people that were sent by Pelunk to play for y'all, because he likes to have battle music playing for big battles. You don't see them as they kind of faded off into the darkness around the woods. It's not a familiar area to you, but at the same time, it does feel this way. It's dark and gloomy. As you look above you, you can see this like the night sky, but everything seems to be spinning fairly fast in the sky, although almost as if like time has been sped up. But you don't feel like you're in like a fast-paced motion, if that makes any sense. So with that, you can go ahead and start your first attack.
I want to cast I'm going to cast Stone Skin on myself.
Okay. No magic, remember?
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if my character would know that, so that would be the first thing he
Yeah,
would
okay.
do.
Gotcha. Yeah. So once you try, it's you just kind of feel the dispel effect, and then you hear off into the shadows of the wood area. I'm sorry, Wolf. This whole place is a dispel. Let's see what you're made of.
I'm gonna say shit. And that's my turn.
Alright. So Wolfie is going to lunge at you, and he's going to go ahead and attack. Alright, so
I
just...
take that.
I'm
I
sorry.
take that. I'm gonna use my move action to fight defensively.
Very nice. And that adds, doesn't that add to your AC or something, right?
Yeah, +2 to my AC.
Very nice. Okay, so I just want to clarify, since you would know this better than anybody, this is your werewolf. When you say full on attack, that means all 3 bites and the 2 claws, right?
That's as a full round attack, so he wouldn't be able to move and do that. Like he'd be able to move and get 1 attack off.
Okay, so
He can do that like at the start of his next turn if I'm still in his attack area.
exactly. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, so let's have him move up. Move this over here. So he's gonna move in range. What's going on with my thing here?
I can't see your screen. I can only see your.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Let me. My Photoshop's acting weird anyway. Oh, that's probably because I have it locked. Share screens, display 1. Okay, I thought I hit that a minute ago. Maybe it went off or something. Alright, there. Okay, let's try this again. Why is it doing that? Technical difficulties. Give me a sec. That's him. Hold on, let me close out of this real quick. It has a lot to do with that update. Yeah, like even my Photoshop's been messing up today. That's later. I know. Thank you. You can see the screen now, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now he's moving. All right. So he's gonna move in. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell's going on. And let's say he's gonna do his 2 claws there. Oh boy, these are. I just wrote them down. I didn't really look at them all that much. Holy crap!
But he'd only be able to do 1 claw though.
1 claw? Okay.
Yeah, because it's 1 attack if he moves.
Okay.
You can only do the multiple attacks, I think, if you're doing the full round attack.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So 25 plus roll of 12. So is that 37?
Yep, that hits.
All right. Let me get all my other die out. I thought I had everything ready, and then I keep remembering other stuff. There they are. So that's the same for the bites and stuff too. Yeah, because I saw where you were asking the question about, was it him casting, was it fox skin or whatever? Isn't that what you asked about in the chat too? But he wouldn't be able to do that. So the AC is just 20.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so let's be 2, 4, 8, 9. So for 15 points.
Nice.
Alright, so you can see and hear everything now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a minute to get used to this new Skype thing. But alright, let's go back to you.
Alright, I'm going to full out attack. Let me see, I didn't write down the stats with that new sword.
It's for just what it is, regular form 40, 12 plus 12. And the crit, I'm gonna make that, since it's already pretty OP, let's do 1920 for that too, times 2. I don't think I told you what it is, probably God form, but we'll say it's like a times 3 if that happens.
You said it's 40, 12 plus 12?
I think that's what I wrote down. Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm going to full out attack
Okay.
with my 3 attacks.
Do it.
With a 40 for the first.
Oh, alright. 40? Oh, of course, that hits, yeah.
A 22 to hit with the second.
Yep.
And a 24 to hit with the third.
Yep.
The 12. $47 points of damage with the first. $62 points of damage with the second.
Alright.
$59 points of damage with the third.
Alright. So you just go ham on him with the new sword Fenris, and like you're just gashing, cutting big chunks out of his fur through his chest, and as you're doing this, you could like almost like you're feeling the pain, but you're not taking any damage, and you just see it's like a out of like literally an outer body experience. You're just watching yourself getting pummeled and thinking of past accounts of old battles, and he hunches down on a knee and then looks up at you and just roars, and he goes in for his full-on attack, and you just hear all the crowd starting to roar throughout the trees, and you hear Palong just yelling and howling. Here we go.
Oh boy.
Okay, actually didn't roll that good on the first one, but that's still like a 31.
Just barely misses.
31 barely misses.
Yeah.
Okay, the second one is. What would that be? Hold on, I gotta do math. I think it's like a 49.
Oh yeah.
Good lord. That one is a 34.
Damage.
No. I'm just doing all the hits first.
Oh. Yeah, 34 hits.
Okay, and then the 2 claws. Okay, for 36. And
Yep.
that might be a. Oh, this might be a miss. 31 is a miss, right?
Right.
Okay. So like, well, no, only got 3. So there was 2 bites and 1 claw.
Right.
Ten, 13, 18, 20, 20 plus, so that's 38 for the first bite as he comes in and takes a big chunk out of your shoulder there. Just awesome stuff. 7, 10, 14, 18, 18 plus 18, that is 30, another 30.
26.
That's 36. 18 plus 18.
Ah, yeah.
36. Alright, and then the bite is 46 plus 6. Nine, 11, 15, 21 points of damage on the last bite.
Noted.
And I think would the bloodletting do be two more points at this point, or no?
Only if he rolls a crit.
Okay, no, I didn't. All right. He's there, gonna let out all of his attacks. Rolls at you. He's looking pretty terrible. What you want to do?
I'm gonna go full out attack because I'm looking very terrible too. So the first one is a 35 to hit.
Oh yeah.
The second is a 34.
Mm-hmm. Out in the woods somewhere over here, and let's just let's do that. Do a spot check.
19.
So as you guys have.
Oh, with my modifier, it's 29.
29. Okay. So it had been pretty quiet for the past few days since the Red Wolf and Francis had left. You just know that they went somewhere to help Thalion complete his quest to obtain God form, and but now you just kind of get like random like briefings from the scouts that he sent out to keep track of what's going on in Pajaro, and so with your spot check, you notice that some of the scouts are coming back from the wood line, and they're briskly walking towards you.
All right. I'm gonna ask him what's going on. What's wrong?
Lord Vanathan, we've noticed something rather peculiar over our night watch, as we watch the half-orcs have seem to have taken over Pajaro, but we were spotted, but they're not moving forward, sir.
The half what now?
The half-orcs.
You weren't spotted, but they're not moving forward.
They're not coming this way. We were spotted, yes. I think they wish to talk.
Okay, well, keep the army here and keep them ready, or the garrison here. Keep them ready, put them on attack, and myself and 2 others will ride forward to talk.
Yes, sir. All right, so you see this guy go around. He begins telling all the troops, telling the commanders. Rasfalim begins organizing everything and making sure defenses are up and everybody's, well taken care of. There's really no sick or injured, so everybody's good. It's been pretty quiet the past few days. All right, so you just want to take just some anybody guards with you, or?
I won't take any like the major like generals or anyone like that or whoever's with me. I'll take just a couple of just well-rounded fighters who, just a couple of well-rounded fighters. No one too important.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you just take a few guards with you. You guys ride over. Actually, I believe I have. So it would be like this is where he was saying they all were over in Pajaro. So you guys cross through the woods and go across the bridge, and you immediately, once you get to the open, you do see what he was talking about, how the half-orcs have taken over the Tiefling city. They didn't slaughter them all. They managed to spare a good many of them, mainly like the women, kids, whatnot. But from what the intel that you could remember, there were portals that were opened, and the portals have since been destroyed, and the portals were what was where the Demnol were coming from. But you see a substantial army of these guys there, and you see a half-orc come up and stop you. State your business.
I was told someone might want to talk to me. I'm Vanathan.
Alright. So, you see another orc, a half-orc, come up beside him, and he just starts, I can't remember, do you speak Orcish or no?
I do.
Okay.
I learned from Tony Stewart.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so he's speaking in Orcish, and he tells the other one, he's like, that's the one that Bravus wanted to talk to. And you see him go, huh? Oh. Blue Elf. Over there. And he points to one of the larger buildings in Pajaro, which kind of seems to be like some kind of almost temple-like thing that they've made for Salakel in remembrance of him. And then so, just go through there, speak to Bravus.
Bravus, got it. Yeah, I don't want them to think that I know Orcish, so.
Alright.
Alright, so I'll head that. Are my guards allowed to go with me?
And you just kind of laugh. Yeah, they can go too.
Alright, and I guess we'll continue on.
Alright, so as you go through the ruined city, it's still kind of smoldering. There's smoke going everywhere. It's like destroyed. There's stuff that's obviously been picked through, like this house looks like it's been looted pretty heavily. All of the prisoners are outside in the streets. They're all tied up very well, and they're being watched by other half-orcs. The temple, Salakel's temple that Bravus is in, is pretty heavily guarded, and the half-orcs are very barbaric in their nature. But what weapons and armor that they do have, you could tell that they're kind of hand-me-downs, but they're well tended to, and their stature is pretty terrifying. All right, so you make it to the door, and they let you in, and inside you see just almost like a church-like setting where many of the pews are destroyed, like monuments of Salakel. Little statues of him have been destroyed in there. All relics of him have been destroyed, burned. And you see one of the large tables at the end where Bravis is with many of his half-orcs, and they have a map open, and you see like many figurines and like little placements, like they're planning.
All right. I'll kind of slowly approach. Are you Bravis?
And turns around, and you see a more half-orc in him than many that you have seen kind of outside. The ones outside seem more orcish. This guy really shows like his a lot more of his human side, just from like the traits on his face. It looks more like the nose and eyes and like cheekbones. His bone structure looks more human, but like he's still got the orc tusk and everything when he turns around. Yes, I'm Bravis. You are...
Veneth.
The king of Lake Vodney.
I am.
It would make sense that you would be on the Wolf's army. Allies with the Red Wolf.
Yes, we've been through quite a bit.
What can I do for you here?
Well, I was told you wanted to speak.
Exactly. What can I do to make your army cease?
Well, it's a great question.
That it is. I do not know the intentions of your army, but I know that the Demnol and the Tieflings have been taken care of. We plan on executing the rest, getting rid of them. Although many of my people object, I do not wish to have any more Tieflings here for future obligations I might have to take them out. There's still possibilities of them bringing back the portals and bringing more Demnol to this realm.
I got a quick out-of-game question.
Yes?
Yeah, was I sent with a purpose with this garrison, or was I just told to march and I was just kind of like, all right, yeah.
You are... I mean, your role on Shalvo is you were on the Council of Shalvo. Red Wolf's objective, and Nate can correct me if I'm wrong, is command and conquer.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay, because I kind of got away with, just killing there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot the whole we actually have a purpose.
Well, you do know that Pajaro was summoning a lot of Demnol. That was what was causing a lot of the Demnol attacks in Pentura, the Tieflings. But this was the pirate area where the half-orcs of Rasa have... can you see my screen?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, I didn't know, because I know I shared it. I didn't know if it went through. So the half-orcs of Rasa have pushed... They've already taken over Lycarel and Pajaro now. I gotta change the color coding on that. Fangdor is pretty much, to your knowledge, been overrun by barbarians at this point. The Slations have been kicked out of there a while ago. Yeah. So that kind of catches you up.
Okay. So fake it until I make it. All right, I'm ready to go back.
Okay.
Yes. I have allied with the Red Wolf, and we want access to your ports here. We want to be able to freely trade and move through your territory. We'll call it a ceasefire among our two parties, because I believe we both have similar objectives of conquest.
Huh. I would think that we do, although all I've ever tried to do is gain freedom for my people and acceptance. We're disowned by all orcs and humankind.
Well, what if we strike a temporary agreement. Now, that we won't take arms against each other, but I extend an invitation for you to come and meet with the Red Wolf on our council, and possibly speaking of an alliance.
An alliance. Interesting.
You said you feel that you've only wanted acceptance. If you come and meet with us on the council and get accepted to become a part of the council, then you will be accepted by all who are under the council's reign. And if people object to this, well, they will end up like all the other objectors, dead and forgotten in a ditch somewhere.
You see him like pondering on it. Go ahead and do a diplomacy.
Let's see. That would be a 18.
Interesting. So he thinks on it a bit, kind of rubs his chin, and he's beginning to, he's about to answer you back, and you see another half-orc run into the room, shouting in Orcish, and he says that the blood sky has begun. And you see Bravus look up, and he answers back in common. What did you say? And he says it again in Orcish, the blood sky has begun. Excuse me a moment, elf. And he walks outside.
Is there like some window or something I can peek out of just to see what's going on?
Yeah. You can go over to one of the side windows, and by the time, which I never told you the time of day, by the time you made it to Pajaro, it's beginning to go into nightfall. So it's starting to get pretty dark, and where once there was there is a moon, but in the Malifor lore, it was basically a hole between Nebi and Malifor, where Vesha shouted so loud that it burst a hole through the screen that separates the both. So that's where the light in the daytime is the sun from all of his light, and then at nighttime there's another one that's basically the moon. Well, you see the moon is now red. First ever blood moon.
It's about time for the harvest then. All right,
But
so
you do notice with that though, many of the orcs are looking up at it and they're kind of freaking out. Like not to where they're running around panicking like it's like they're all about to die, but they're not completely happy about it. They're kind of almost petrified.
okay, I'm gonna find some half orc and ask in common, well, what is with the moon?
And he just answers back, what did you say?
Oh, okay. No, I don't want to speak Orcish. I'm gonna ask, does anyone in here speak common?
You see probably one of the captains that he was standing around the table with has walked back into Salakel's temple there, and he's what did you say, Wolf? I mean Wolf. Sorry, what did you say, Venison?
Yeah. What's up with the red moon? Everyone seems scared.
It's goes back to old legend that was passed down from Melgoth, our father, the Heian elf. We were told that the blood sky, or the blood moon, was the mark of the beginning of the war gods, of the war of the gods.
The
Awesome.
beginning of the War of the Gods. That sounds about right.
And so you can, along with, as he's explaining this to you, you can hear like a lot more just commotions and like people, people praying or asking for, help from Vesha, which is kind of crazy for orcs to do, being that Vesha don't want to have anything to do with them. But they're just asking for any kind of hope because they feel like all of it's lost. Kind of like, how cult leaders will be like, yep, tomorrow's the end of the world, and everybody's like, oh crap, they're kind of freaking out like that.
Okay, I want to find. I want to go speak. Is it?
Oh
I
boy,
forgot his name.
failing.
Bra-
Bravus.
Bravus. Okay, I want to say Bravir for some reason, but I knew that one wrong.
Okay.
Bravus.
All right. So you find him, and he's out there just kind of whispering, or not whispering, but he's like softly talking to some of his captains, still looking up at the blood moon.
Bravus, I think this is a good opportunity for you to come and speak with the others about an alliance. If you didn't if you did not already know, our alliance or our council consists of 2 demigods and pretty much 3 demigods. We got Red Wolf is pretty much a wolf god. So you would be in the favor of other godlike people if you were to come back with us.
And then do a listen check.
All right, listens 27.
All right, so from behind you, as you're talking to Bravus, I do believe he already knows that the Red Wolf is there. As you turn around, you see Chunning, the god of wisdom, pointing up to the blood moon, and you see many of the half-orcs kind of like bow and like they start to whimper away, as if they've never, like, you guys are kind of getting used to it. Y'all been around gods quite a bit, but you could see many of these like savage people have not been in the presence of godlike people before.
Yes.
Jonathan,
And like Churning's the one that tried to kill us, right?
no.
No.
Chunning is the one. Well, I guess you could say that y'all did the trial of Chunning, where you died from that. Oh crap! I'm having a brain fart, and where you became a vampire,
Oh, yep, that thing.
a beholder is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, the beholder. Okay. Oh, it's the Whisperer. That's the guy trying to kill us. Duh. All right. God, so many.
So many names.
Yeah,
And
and I'm
how I
terrible.
feel.
Yeah, I'm glad you write stuff down. I should probably learn to do that one day. All right. Yes. It's nice to see you there, Channing.
Good to see you too. You will come with me, Vanathan. Bravus, stand fast. I will speak with you later. And he just kind of waves his hand. And then, before you know it, you are back flying on the outskirts of Nebi on the back of his giant dragon. Because he was the creator of dragons. So he has a giant dragon named, that he just calls Drake, that flies around, and it has his little mansion on the back of this dragon where you guys dined the last time y'all were here. And so you're standing around his table. You can just see the outskirts of, or you can see the inskirts of Nebi, all the stars. So it really looks like you're flying through space. And I have a special task for you, Vanathan.
And what is your task?
It will sound very peculiar and menacing at first, but I have the best interest of my fellow gods and your friends. I wish for you to go back to the realm of Manafor and bring me the corpse of Dagon.
You want me to kill Dagon?
Again, yes.
I was about to say I've done it before.
Exactly.
Well, it depends on which edition of the damn good book you read.
I wish to reclaim the shards that are still lodged within his body.
Is there a way to reclaim these without killing him?
No, I'm
No, well.
afraid not. The shards from the blade that was once used by you and Gerwald long ago. I do believe that if I obtain these shards, I am able to use my own knowledge to make it a weapons now that the battle of the gods is going to commence. But first I need his corpse in order to obtain them.
And what weapon are you planning to make?
Not just one weapon, but many weapons. The Blade of Woe was what you used to defeat him before. But with its enchantment, there is also a curse. As you know what happened to Gerwald. I wished for this not to be the case. When wielded by a god, it does not have this effect for you to diminish.
Okay. So what's in it for me?
Good. Oathbreaker's finally learning. What's in it for you is I will show you how to obtain your god form. Not a demigod, but you will become a full-fledged god.
So we're talking permanent.
Yes.
Alright, you've got my attention.
So, go retrieve the corpse. And once done, pray to me and I will summon you back.
Alright.
Are you willing to do this?
Yes, I am. I'm willing to kill a guy I've killed before.
You are aware that this is basically your nephew. Are you still willing to do this?
I mean, I killed him when he was my nephew before, right?
Oh, you didn't know it before. Very good.
I mean, you act like I actually have an attachment. I mean, he did kill me. Or, well, he really didn't kill me. He sent people to kill me that did kill me. But then again, he brought my wife back.
I would just like to point out of game that if you do kill Dagon, this would be like the 8th leader of Sinfall that has died. Because he's technically the steward right now. So.
I know who to appoint to that position next. Actually, no, I don't want to appoint anyone to that position because nothing good comes of the leader of Sinfall.
Alright, yeah, Nate, I got your message, by the way. Alright, okay, are you ready?
So, one more question. You said that there would be no more half god, that I could reach the full god potential. So, is there a way to reach that potential now? Because I feel like I'm going to need it for this battle. Is there some, like, temporary effect you can give me?
You see, I don't believe you'll need it. You're cunning. Dagon trusts you now. He is much weaker than before. His power is not what it was. He is nowhere near as strong as he was fighting-wise as when he was once controlled by Void.
I mean, last time we just snuck up behind him and stabbed him in the back and he kind of fell over. So,
And he leans forward to the table and says, "Exactly."
he can't be too much stronger than that. Yeah, I'll do it. You know, at this point, I mean, I feel like that's a good kill. I'll probably get something out of that. Feel a little more power. surging through me.
More power indeed.
You're not going to screw me over, though, are you?
Of course not.
Yeah. Screw it. All right, let's go.
So he waves his hand once again, and you arrive to a very familiar place of Sinfall, where you see just the usual folk running about. Everybody seems to be just having an unfamiliar feeling of peace in Sinfall. Everybody seems to be going pretty happy. You arrive kind of at the entranceway of the town, where you see Tiffin kind of out and about, kind of getting everything swept off the porch of the shop, and he sees you and he goes, Vanathan.
Hey, Tiffin, I need a drink.
Oh yeah, sure. Alright, so he kind of goes on side and wipes out a mug, and you see like a few people on the inside. It's not very busy. Pours you some ale and slides it over to you. What's going on?
Well, it's just going to be one of those days in Sinfall.
Have you seen the sky?
Yep, some pretty crazy stuff going on. Then I'm just going to chug the drink.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. That's pretty crazy.
Give it an hour. You'll see some crazier stuff in the town.
Oh, don't say that. I mean, it can't be any worse than a dragon landing right here and kind of decimating the town. That was pretty crazy.
I'm telling you, give it about 1 hour.
And he just kind of laughs. He's like, "Yeah, are you joking?"
Yeah, of course I am.
Oh, okay.
Everything's good now.
Whew. Okay, all right. Yeah.
Oh.
Have you? I was gonna ask before you head out. I'm sure you're going over to the castle to check on Dagon and everything. Have you guys heard from Orlana and all those guys? Ben and the other troops that went out?
Mm.
And I believe what is the shady dark elf that works for the king? Lucian? I didn't really know him all that much.
I think he's dead.
No, I hope not. I know they set sail a few days ago. They were heading eastward. I just didn't know if perhaps Thalion had heard word, but I guess you probably wouldn't know that, seeing that he's on the other side of the world and you're here. Am I right?
Yeah, and I thought he was dead. So yeah, I'm sure he's fine.
Well, all right. So he just kind of walks off and starts tending to other customers as he waves you goodbye.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna head to the castle.
All right. So, like I said, it's everything seems to be good. You do see Dagon's in there. He has left it to where the throne chair is not being used. He brought up another chair that's kind of setting off to, not the side, but it's kind of like on a downward level. He just wanted to, like, you just kind of get the feeling that he didn't want to sit in the king's chair to kind of give off that impression. He didn't want to be a Joffrey.
All right.
All right, so you see him and, Vanathan, what, I thought you were engaged with him.
I was. I've been sent back to tend to some business for the Red Wolf before I head back.
I see. So he signals to some of the workers to let's bring on some wine. We'll sit down. And you see him go over and kind of sit at the table as they bring over wine for you guys. So what's the situation of the war?
Well, we were able to hold off tieflings, and we are currently trying to expand our reach on that side of the world, hoping to soon conquer enough and leave it in good hands to where we can return home for a little while. Maybe obtain this peace we've been shooting out for forever.
I see. Well, that's very good news. I know that Afrin wanted to come see you, so I'm assuming that she used some of her teleportation to bring you here. She made it okay, right?
Did she make it okay? Yes.
Yeah.
Has she been happy since she got there? No.
Well,
Crazy vampire lady's trying to seduce me. So she's pretty upset about that.
we have been keeping close eye on Hanea and her. I didn't want to worry the wolf of the vampire threat of Ragnar. It seems that we've been working closely with those of Air Malora to kind of keep that intact, but we have put on a curfew here for the city and up the guards at night to keep track of any intruders or passerbys that come by Sinful.
So she has become a threat to the city.
To us and Air Malora, yes.
Well, I might have to make my way there next. I want to get her out of my head. So it might help to pay her a visit. Possibly kill her.
Oh, that would be good news. Yes, like I said, we put on the curfew to save any we could, which we haven't heard from Air Malora in a few days. I'll have to send a raven by to check on the status. Alright, so
Yes, that would be very helpful.
but he continues to drink some wine. And how long are you staying?
Not long. I plan to retrieve some of the Red Wolf's belongings he asked of me, and then start heading back.
I see. Well, yes, I do believe I have the keys here, and he goes for his keys, and in his room. Where would you like?
He mentioned that he needed something out of the treasury, I believe. Would you walk with me and come unlock the door?
Certainly. So he begins walking. He's
I want it to be known that I want him to walk ahead of me, and I want to have my trident in hand if I already didn't.
all right. So he's walking, and do you require more mercenaries or weapons while he's over there? Is this where the funds are going to?
Yes, we're trying to form an alliance with some half-orc, and we think that some additional funds may increase our chances of this alliance.
Alright. Alright, so you walk by a few guards, and he opens up the treasury, and they give him a nod, and the guards also greet you. He opens it up. You go inside where you see the treasury is sitting pretty good. I mean, it's not bad. He goes inside. Are you gonna follow him? Door's still open?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow him, but shut the door behind us.
Okay. And you shut the door, and he's standing with his back turned.
Yeah, I'm stabbing him 100%, just going all at it.
Alright. So, I'm gonna do this. So you're just gonna lunge at him just right to the chest?
So in Overwatch when Reinhardt does his little charge thing and then just pins him against the wall?
Okay. Nice.
That's what I'm doing for Trident, just running and then just going until I impact him and the wall or something.
Alright, so yeah, you just hit the freaking wall, pinning him to it with the trident. You see your trident almost change in your grasp. You see the handle change from like a red grainy wood texture to it's just more I don't know, we'll say it's like a bluish green. It has like a decorative stuff around it. You see the blades become sharper and more jagged, and it has like this reddish aura going around it. And he's still pinned to the wall, and you hear him like coughing, as if he's gasping for air, and he says, "Just like last time." And then he just limps down.
All right, I'm gonna like pull the trident out of him,
All right, and he just falls to the ground.
and then I'm gonna kind of like bury him in all the gold in the room.
You gotta bury him. Even though you gotta bring the.
Ah, crap!
All right, so you buried him in the gold, and then you realize, oh crap, I gotta break the corpse back.
I'm just gonna like re-impale him, and then just like carry him out like that, like on the trident still.
All right. So as you are doing that, and you're trying to figure out what in the hell you're supposed to be, like how you're gonna get back to Chunning, you're just like, I'm just gonna walk out the door. So you hit the door, like you turn the knob and walking out, and as soon as you turn the knob, you're back on top of Drake, in front of Chunning, who is standing there.
You got him.
Got him. Excellent. Place him here.
All right, I just kind of like sling him down.
Good. I did not expect you to do it that fast. I thought it might have a little bit more remorse, but apparently Oathbreaker is the proper name for you. Well,
I mean, you are who you are.
This idea occurred to me after contemplating as to why Valak had Dagon's corpse back in Volkmarine many what was that? That was many months ago, actually, many rotations ago now. I lose track of mortal time. But I do believe Void was trying to obtain these shards even back then to use it against Vesha and his army in the War of the Gods. And so he begins like examining over the corpse and kind of waving his hand around. So as you're doing that, or as he's doing that, do a listen check.
12.
Alright, so you're just very much in tune with what's going on with Chunning, and you're just kind of looking at his like fine garments and robes, and how this guy is probably like the thinnest dragonborn you've ever seen. He's just very tall and lanky, and you don't feel like this, but there's this giant that's sneaking up behind you, and you feel like a big strong grasp on your shoulder as he turns you around, and you see the god of war, Janelle. You're coming with me. And then you get transported.
What? Oh.
And we're going to go back to Thalian now. Hopefully Nate Dogg has come up with what he's going to do next.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a full round action to withdraw,
Okay.
and which allows me to run at twice my speed, and I am going to go into the direction of the darkest, thickest part of the forest.
Okay.
It's like the part that has like just extremely thick,
Alright.
which would allow me to use my woodland stride ability, which allows me to move unhindered through rough terrain.
Okay. So yeah, we'll just say it's somewhere over there. Does he get an attack since you're fleeing, or no?
Not since I withdrawed.
Okay. Alright. So he tries to swipe at you as you just quickly duck up under it and run off to the northern direction, where you see it's pitch black. It's very, very thick. I mean, and here it just looks like there's just trees, but there's a lot of vines, bushes, and just thick shrubs. And you can hear him like like sniffing and like thrashing about, and you hear the footsteps as he's kind of closing in. Did you want to do a hide or anything while you're over there, or do you just want to run up in there?
Yeah, I'm gonna run in there to create distance, um, because he would be encumbered trying to move through the same space that I came.
Hmm.
And I also am using my trackless step so that he can't track me. He can still like smell me by using his scent ability.
Okay.
Uh, but since it's pitch black, neither of us have dark vision.
Interesting.
But I do have blind sense 60 feet, so he'll be able to smell me, and I'll be able to sense his movement.
I like it.
But neither of us can actually see each other. So, uh,
Okay. All right. So we're gonna say.
and I'm gonna like attempt to hide and create cover in between me and him, like always trying to maintain something in between us.
I like it. Let's do it.
And
You gonna roll a hide?
one, yeah, that is a it's a 28.
Okay. All right. So he's smart enough to see and hear at least that you ran off in that direction. So he does get about around there or something, and he's looking. So I know this is like open on this, but we're just gonna say it's a lot thicker. So that was a pretty smart tactic. And yeah, so I'm just gonna roll to. So you can really hear him like sniffing, and he's just trying to find you. You hear him like chopping down some of the brush with his big claws, and he's just really trying to use that scent. You do feel him. He's closing in, but he's still not in an area from which you could actually do a listen check.
Uh, 32.
All right, so you can, with blind sight and your hearing, you can kind of peek through a lot of the brush, and you can pretty much see him where he is right now. And he's not in like an immediate threat. Probably like the next round, he would probably be able to get to you. Maybe if he just depending on like how much he thrashes, but you're still good right now. And he doesn't. It doesn't look like he knows where you are.
All right, moving silently, I'm going to continue away from him, like deeper in the thicket,
Okay.
and I am going to start to set traps using my survival skill.
All right.
Straight up Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator style.
Nice. Okay. All right.
My move silently is a 37.
I'm just gonna do. Okay. Very good.
And my survival is a 31.
All right. So what kind of traps you want to set up?
This round, I want to uh, set up just kind of like some spike snares.
Mm-hmm.
Type the like take a piece, hike some small saplings and like bend them down to where they will like spring up and catch them. You know, like that kind of stuff.
I got you. Okay. All right. So with that, he's going to. You did move deeper in the thing, but since the map is only so big, I'm just not gonna work. Just know that you did move up. He is going to move up, getting thicker. The thing. Let's see if he's. Net 19. So I'm trying to see. I'm gonna say that rolling that high, he is catching on to a strong scent. He hasn't fully like got a good whiff of where you are yet, but he knows like the general location. He's narrowed it down. I am gonna do some, but you do hear him like walking through, breaking down some branches, some brush, and then you hear a brrr, and so we'll do some damage on some of these traps. Three, no. Right. Then you also hear Plunk laughing off in the distance. Okay. So we're gonna make that be his turn. Let's go to your turn.
All right, the same thing. I'm going to continue to move away from him and creating. Actually, I'm going to try to run silently away from him.
Okay.
With a team plus 37.
Okay. Did get a net 20 on. I've just been doing opposing ones every time you do that, just to kind of see if he would like hear something or do something. So I'm gonna say that as you kind of took off that time, he did. He heard a snapping of branch or something that you stepped on, and he did hear you as you kind of ran off into the deeper in the woods, and you hear him. And it starts to move even faster, where he hits another trap. But he's coming at you. And these traps, I'm rolling pretty high damage on these two. So let me do that real quick. But you do hear him like closing in, and I'm gonna roll actually just a claw attack, so he's just kind of swinging as he's like closing in, but I'm gonna like,
yeah, I think those because I have concealment, there's a 50% chance to miss.
Yeah, I was gonna do like a heavy disadvantage on it. Okay, yeah, it's barely a miss, so you just feel the from it. So I'm gonna do the damage from that trap. 7, 6. All right, so another damage from that. Okay. All right. So with that, after the run, more traps. He's going to continue to try to sniff you out. Listen. There's a nat 15. So it's at this point with him sniffing, 'cause I'm rolling pretty high on like sniffs, quotation marks, and listen and stuff. He is. It's kind of like that scene from Lord of the Rings when the hobbits are running from the ring wraith, and it's like right there on them, and they're like, "Oh crap!" So you kind of duck down, but the red wolf is swinging violently. So we're gonna do another swing, and I'm gonna roll and see if he misses or not. Let's 80%. So I'm just gonna do. He did like one swing, and the other swing is just. He's just trying to push stuff out of the way. And since it's such thick brush, I'm not gonna do full damage. I'm just gonna roll like 2 die. And it rolled really low, so with all of the thick brush that you're kind of you're hiding down in, it kind of takes most of the swing, and it is.
Well, did he hit me though? Because he rose up his to see if.
Yeah, I rolled the hit and I rolled 80%. Because I'm still basing it off the 31, and then I got 80 on the die, but I'm only rolling 2 die, and let's do like 6 damage because I rolled low.
Alright.
Like I said, you're still there, ducking down. He can feel like he hit something, but at the same time, you also got the sense that actually do a will. No, not a will. Let's do a Constitution. No, or would that be Fortitude? Let's do Fortitude. Let's do Fortitude. Just kind of see if you like went or not.
I got a 27.
Okay, yeah. So he knows he hit something, but it's not like I mean, he's just going through brush, so you can kind of still sense that he's like pushing through that brush, but he can smell. But I don't know. You could kind of get that feeling that he's lost.
I want to do a survival check to get downwind of him.
Okay.
To where he can't smell me.
Okay, good idea.
With a 31.
Very good. All right.
And a move silently of 27.
Okay. All right, so you know the direction of the wind. You can tell that it's been pretty consistent throughout the whole battle, as you could tell by the fur, the leaves, or whatever you've been looking at. And do a spot check. Actually, what did you get on your survival check? It might go hand in hand with that.
Survival, I got a 31.
Okay, so with that, I would say that you're going through a lot of areas now where it's very, very thick, but there's also a lot of vines, and his sharp claws are not always cutting through the vines very well, and he's starting to get to, you know when you're walking through the woods and you start to get real pissed off because you're like, damn it, I gotta go through this briar patch or something like that.
Yeah.
He's at that point in life right now. So I just wanted to point that out. Do with that what you will, but he's starting to get into some thick vines and briars and everything. Doesn't look like he's getting tangled too much, but it is starting to really piss him off.
Alright, I want to silently climb up in a tree.
Alright.
So that's a 27 on my climb check and a 24 on my move silently.
Okay. So yeah, you slowly climb up in a tree that's, I would say, 12 to 15 feet high. You're up in a good branch, still got good visibility on him. He is probably 20 to 25 feet away from you. So let's do something. Actually, let me move it around here. Yeah, well, just for example, maybe here, and he is over here somewhere, still like in all the thick of it, trying to hit, push through all that crap, chop it down. Let's see if he sniffed anything. Ooh, no, that's a really low roll. He is not doing too well. He's just so pissed off he can't really concentrate and sniff and smell you out. Yeah, so he's just thrashing about. Every now and then you see him stop and kind of look around, getting all frustrated. Your turn.
I want to craft another trap. This one, I want it to be kind of one of them swinging log type deals.
Okay.
Like coming out of this tree I'm in.
All right.
And I'm going to move to one of the other trees with 30 move silently.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're good. Okay, let's do a another survival on that that crafting.
That I get a 40.
No, very good. Okay, so with the move silently and that high of a survival, you kind of set it up, got it in place, and you could still hear the red wolf down there just thrashing about. And then after it's all set, ready to go, you can kind of hear him stop, and he's like, and then you can just hear it get tripped, and then you're. Nate Dogg slowly killing himself. I just want to point out, this one of those, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do
I would
that.
just like to point out that I'm at 1 HP.
Yeah. Well, you're doing good. You're doing the whole, very much, I was kind of seeing this as a predator type situation. Traps are knocking him down, though. Alright. You can see that he is starting to get pretty weak by that. It knocked him back with the heavy log, the force of that. It did pretty heavy damage. That was a very high survival roll. It knocked him back. He is currently prone, and you can see that he's kind of he looks like he's like a rock UFC fighter at this point. He's trying to stand back up. He's having trouble. And he is currently growling. So standing back up is going to be his action.
I want to attempt to craft a bow using like the vines and like a limb, like just different things that's right next to me.
Very
With a survival check of 43.
Okay. Alright. So yeah. So with the vines that you have around you, plenty of good, like, you could tell that the place that Palunk took you to is just like the most prime place for grade A place to go hunting. Like everything is there. So yeah, you make a good, strong bow. Enough there. Yeah. So you got you a good bow with the vine. What are you gonna
And I
use?
want to continue. I want to move to the next tree over.
Alright. So you move silently.
23 on that one.
Okay. That one he heard where he heard a noise in that direction. I'm not gonna say that he saw you yet, but he is like, you can see him looking in that direction now that as he's fully standing up. All right, yeah, but you got there. He has stood up, so let's roll like a sniff. All right, and he's beginning to move. I'm not gonna move you again, but you did move to another tree, and we'll have him like walking. Don't act crazy again. He's walking over, so he's getting very, very close to that tree, but he's like walking cautiously now. You can see like he's like almost like me walking to the house, afraid to step on a Lego at night. All right. So you're in the next tree. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna try to just make a like a makeshift arrow, and I'm not gonna fire it at him. I'm actually gonna fire it to the north in that thicket, so it will make a sound.
All right.
For a 40 survival check and a 20 on the ranged attack.
Okay. All right. Not nat 20.
No, not nat
Yeah,
20.
it really doesn't matter though. All right. So yeah, you just fire it off in the distance, and you hear a loud, like it actually did hit a tree in the dark, and you see the red wolf turn around to that and begin to move pretty hastily in that direction. Yeah, he's beginning. Also, before we go forward, I want you to make a intelligence check.
That is a 7.
All right. So with the intelligence check, you can see. Obviously, you see this big werewolf in front of you, and that's how you're beginning to think. You see a werewolf in front of you, with no knowledge of calling it the Red Wolf, no knowledge of calling it your former self. But you just, it's just pure survivalism. It takes you a minute to think about, like, wait, who am I? And it takes you a while to realize that you're Thalian. You have no idea how you got to this place, what's going on, other than you're trying to survive. Just letting that be known. But this big werewolf that is in front of you is now going to the north to where you fired this arrow. What would you like to do? Also, I would like to point out, that since you got a better look at him, looking very, very weak. Like, very, very weak. The traps have done a lot of damage.
I would like to set a trap, kind of like before, where I pulled a sapling down, but I want to use the vines and kind of set it to where there's a loop about head high, and triggered by a step.
Okay. Okay.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah, you're trying to hang him. I like it. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, like break his neck type deal,
like
old Cherokee Indian style.
Yeah, let's do it. What you don't know is that also in this woods is Jeremiah Johnson. It's about to wreck your world.
That's a 38 on survival.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you begin rigging all that up, and he. All right, rolled pretty high on that one. So you do hear off in the north where he went. You can hear a lot of sniffing, thrashing about. Almost he's getting so violent that he's pushing over some sounds like little trees, and it's quiet. And after you start to set up that last little bit, you start to hear. Let's do a reflex.
That wasn't that bad. Reflex of 23.
All right. 23. Okay, since it is dark, even though I did roll a 60% on that before I rolled the attack, with a 23, I'm going to say that you managed to get out of the way. Let's see if he actually... did I write down his reflex? Do you have that on hand as to what... yeah, let's see if he manages to... I was just going to judge it by the trap and everything.
Yeah, his reflex is 9 plus 9.
Alright. So, Thalian dodges out of the way of this big heaping of a claw that's coming down at him. And with that, you see the red wolf step on your trigger mechanism, getting lodged into this awesome vine that you have. A good little weight drops, and you see the wolf shoot up into the air, thrashing about, kicking and everything. You hear the breath and everything slowly begin to stop as you're watching the last little bit of life go out of the red wolf, you begin to hear the clap of Pelunk. Excellent. Good fight. Brilliant fight. I loved it. And do another intelligence check.
That is a 16.
So 16, you see Pelunk come slowly out of the darkness, going over, and he's kind of like rubbing the fur of the red wolf that's hanging there. And it takes you a while to remember what his name is. Hey, what's wrong with you?
I'm having trouble remembering.
Oh, that's right. I forgot how long we've been out here. And with the 16, you do remember that your name is Thalion, and you are here to hunt. You know that from looking at yourself that you are half-elf, and that's about it.
Half elf. I'm supposed to be a wood elf.
Oh, wood elf, sorry. That's
Oh.
yeah.
I was just making sure I didn't get like changed somewhere
Yeah.
back in there.
Sorry. But yeah, he's continuing to look at the corpse of the werewolf. He signals for some of his worshippers to come over and go ahead and cut this down. You did good, Thalion. I'm quite impressed. I really thought he was going to take you back there.
What do you mean?
I didn't expect you to win, but I thought it'd be a good fight. I thought the sword would boost you up a bit. I just wanted you to prove yourself. All hunts don't go according to plan. You probably remember that. Back in your days of being a roamer of the land. And do another intelligence check.
That's 15.
15. So when he says back when you were like a roamer of the land, out of game, he's referring to like even before you and Faldir began doing y'all's like adventures together. In game, everything's kind of a blur right now, and he's starting to see that on your face. And so he looks over at one of the guys that have since cut down the red wolf and have kind of laid his body there. Hey, what's the count? How long we've been here? We've been here approximately 3,000 rotations, sir. Holy shit. Thalion, you need to walk with me. So he turns around. He's like, "You're Thalion. You're Thalion."
I'm gonna follow him.
And so you kind of turn around as you're walking with Pelunk, and they are sliding off, like sliding the red wolf off into the darkness. Sometimes I forget about this place. It's out of your mortal time. It's much faster. And he points up, and that's where you see the stars spinning around fast. You see this place, Luna. I made it for you in case you pass the trials. But your realm, as I said before, goes a bit fast. That's why your mortal mind is not able to comprehend and retain. You don't remember anything? Do another intelligence check.
It's 10.
Okay. All right. Nice. So you like I said, you know that you were sent there to hunt, and you were requested, and you're getting the sense that he is of divinity, but like as to what your past was, other than your name, it's all becoming really really hazy to you. And he says, "Well, I never planned for this. I was just really excited for the fight, but I do know that if you walk in that direction, from what I can hear now, I think you'll find your answers." And he's pointing off into the dark, but you can see a small glimmer of light at the end, like in the midst of the woods.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep walking that way.
All right. So as you walk, the small little glimmer of light is coming from it's illuminating from some person that's there, and as you get closer and closer, you can see that it is a centaur being, a being that you have not seen in a very, very, very long time, which a character right now wouldn't know that. But it's wounded. It's holding on to its stomach, where you could see a lot of blood coming out. It is now like kind of hempered down, the boat over, and the head picks up, and the alien.
Who are you?
And he kind of like takes a moment and looks at his hand. He's trying to like put more pressure on it. "I am Shijin. I know now that you don't remember me, but this was my last moment before death, my last request. After being slain by the God Slayer, I am the God of Time." And you, as he says, the God of Time, you feel a glimpse of just memory just kind of shoot over you, and of like a past battle of you flying through the sky in this red dragon armor, fighting someone over a great city where many dead lie. "I knew you in the past, Thalian. I'm sorry I don't have much time. One being called Melvo killed me long ago. After I was wounded, I appeared here before death to send you back." "Do you not remember your friends?" Do an intelligence check.
Nat 20.
Oh, snap. Okay. So you look around you, and it's completely dark, other than the light that's coming from him. You can look down, and you can only see your hands because of the light that's coming through him, because he's starting to fade. And when he says, "Don't you remember your friends?" you can see just glimpses of faces of a shady aquatic elf that stabs people in the back. I'm just kidding. You see a guy constantly blowing himself up, taking a black dragon out of the sky. You see a half Incrillion set a dwarf on fire. You just see all these crazy things, and then you see a giant green dragon coming behind you and smoldering a freaking centaur that almost killed you. You see Aldar and Lobo, and then you hear a voice say, "Be a light in the darkness." And something triggers, And so as you look down at your hands, it is you that now that is starting to illuminate the light. And as you look up and you see Shijin slowly starting to fade further and further away. There then, the red wolf is gone. Do you remember now? And it's hazy, but it's there. It's coming back to you.
Yes.
Now is time for the end of the red wolf and beginning of the bright wolf. And
So Sam,
you just feel this emergence of the bright wolf come upon you. The time of Fenris has begun. You must return to save your friends. And it slowly fades away, and you feel like a bright, bright light come over you. And now we're going to go back to Vanathan. What time is it? Oh, it's like 12:30 here. Okay, we're going to go back to Vanathan. But yeah, bright wolf. That was the painting that I worked until like last night to finish.
yeah.
Naked alien. Alright. Hopefully Noah's still there. He's been quiet.
Yeah, I'm still here. I sent you a message saying that I was gonna have to wrap it up here soon.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Alright. Okay. I can try. Okay. Alright. So, Vanathan wakes up in a very dead-like area. Let's do a knowledge. What knowledge do you have high? Like high school?
None.
None? Oh boy. Just do a regular intelligence check.
11.
Okay. So you're standing there and actually I don't remember if your character's been there before, but from being around your friends, you can tell that you are somewhere in the land of the dead. And you see this giant of a being standing before you, the guy that grabbed a hold of your shoulder, the war god Janelle, and in front of you you see many of the shade. And but they're closing in. They're not this close yet, but he says, "The shade are beginning to take over the hotel. We must push them back, Oathbreaker. You must concentrate to obtain your god form. So roll a concentration check."
22.
What was the nat?
Nat 16.
Okay, nat 16. Okay. For just this time, I'll explain how, since you got to get off, we'll probably end up just wrapping it here, but no, that's not you. Hold on a second. That would be so you feel quite a bit of pain come over your head as you look down at your hands. You're still grasping over on your trident. You see them just covered in blood, as the blood is just all over you. You're not taking any hit point damage, but this is you. So all the pain that was coming from your head are these giant horns. Your body is covered from blood for a reason, and you have red glowing eyes. God form. I think I sent you the stats to God form already, right?
Yeah, you did. I took a picture of them.
Okay. So that would be, yeah. So that's full God form Oathbreaker. And so we'll just remember that next time we pick it up. So you're fighting along Janelle, trying to push back troops from invading Hodel. And we'll leave that for a mystery as to why you're doing that. But yeah, I was going to, before we get off, actually I'll end the stream. Well, that's a good picture to end it on.